Hey guys, did you know the H-1B is now 1 year long, and on top of that there is no OPT in the US regardless of whether you study a STEM program or not. Is that true? Absolutely not. A lot of you guys have been confused about this new bill, and I'm going to be clarifying that in this video. First off, let me actually tell you what this bill says, and then I'll clarify whether you need to be worried or not. So let's get started. Let's go on to this page over here, and this will actually tell you about what the new bill is proposing. Okay, so it's just one of the pages. I believe there's about 100 pages that would have this news, but again, just one of the pages, and it says that a new bill has been introduced in the US about the H-1B visa, and it will be tightening the news around the rules of the H-1B program. So let me actually tell you what this bill proposes. Okay, now this is actually named American Tech Workforce Act of 2021. It's targeting the tech workers. That should basically tell you by the title itself. Now, really, what is really important over here to understand is that this new bill has been proposed to eliminate OPT. Yes, all of you guys who have been studying in the US and have been waiting for your OPT period to start so that you can start getting back the money that you actually took off as a loan from some bank in India or in some other country, right? You have to actually pay it off, and the OPT period is massively helpful in doing that. The OPT is helpful in one more thing, that is to get you on board to the H-1B boat, right? So again, that is very important to understand. Now the OPT is actually given to non-STEM people, that is non-science, technology, engineering and math people, for 1 full year, and for science, technology, engineering and mathematics related fields, if you're studying one of those, you'll get 3 full years of OPT. That means you can practice what you studied in the US, and you'll actually be able to work over there, right? And while working, you're able to get a full-time job. Of course, you're able to earn full-time, right? And you're able to basically pay off your loans, any money that you borrowed, etc., etc. Basically, anything that you invested in your degree mostly comes back to you as long as you're able to get a job during your OPT period. And of course, you can also apply for the H-1B. But this rule basically tells you that there should be zero OPT. Let me actually tell you what this means one more time. Let me actually tell you what this means a little bit more in depth. So this rule has been bought by some person named Banks, and his statement is that big tech is setting aside some of the most lucrative and valuable career opportunities in America and giving them to exclusively foreign guest workers. They're cutting out Americans to save a few bucks. This is domestic outsourcing. And again, as per the reports, the bill asks that the minimum amount of money you should be making if, again, you have an H-1B in the tech field should be $110,000 per annum. If that number doesn't really sound big enough, let me actually tell you the gravity of the situation. In total, less than 15% of the people in the United States earn this amount. That means about 85% of the people earn less than 110K per year, right? And that, of course, is a major factor. As you can see, that they basically are telling, hey, look, don't hire these people, and if you're hiring them, pay them better than you pay 85% of the American population, which does not make any sense, to be very honest with you. Right, so this is the bill explained, this is what it proposes, and let me actually tell you now whether you should be worried about it or not. So guys, one thing to note over here is that this is still a bill. What that means is that it has to be passed in the Senate to become a law, right? Again, the way it works in the US is you can't really just make laws directly. You have to actually propose a bill, which then goes through the House and the Senate, and then they basically make it a law, right? Right now, this is just a bill. Now, should you actually be worried about this? The answer is an absolute no. This is actually something that happens every single year because, you know, I'm probably tired of doing this, but, you know, I'm making this video sort of almost once a year, sometimes twice, because these sort of bills have been coming out since ages. And really, the Americans also know that these tech workers are really important to drive the economy because there's simply not enough American workers to actually take care of the entire workload. In fact, if this bill were to pass, a lot of the jobs would have to be outsourced outside of the US. So no, it definitely won't be domestic outsourcing, it would be international outsourcing in that case, right? But at the end of the day, that will actually benefit the companies much more in a lot of cases. So first off, understand this is actually not good for the tech companies as well. On top of that, right now in the environment when, you know, countries like Canada are doing everything possible to support these students, right? The international students, cutting off OPT at this point of time would not make sense at all, right? And about the OPT, by the way, like I said, every single year someone proposes a bill and they basically go on about how it should not exist, how basically they should not be allowing the OPT. But just think about this: if there is no OPT, there is no return on investment for the most part. Why would anyone want to go to the United States if this bill has passed? I'm sure that your answer would almost always be no in such cases as well. From my end, you can be assured that this bill is not going to harm you because it's never going to get passed. And apart from that, you can actually check out the news. This happens almost every 6-7 months. And again, this is actually harmless. These bills get denied as easily as they get proposed. For further news on this topic, make sure to subscribe to the channel because there's a lot more content coming your way in relation to this news. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye and take care for now.